4:15 on the official clock. The Bulldogs bring it around the perimeter. Marins comes up to defend, knocked out of play, and last touched by the Bulldogs, number 5, Boston Welpkin. Turnover to the Cougars. Evan Horton with a left-hand lob pass across, stolen by number 23, Campbell. And he makes the basket and draws the foul. He'll go to the line for the and one opportunity. Stanton pulls down the rebound for the Cougars. Quick outlet to the left side. Pass to the middle, stolen back by the Bulldogs. That was number 2, Hinderleder. Knocked out a play by Horton and stays Bulldogs ball. Dennis knocks it away. Stanton saves. Right there to pick it up is Campbell. Floater is no good. Marins presses out to Hinderleder on the left side. Gets it back to Marins at the top. Stanton drives in, steps through, kicks it to the corner for Hinderleder for the 3, and he got it. 8-4 the score. Bulldogs in transition, throw it away. Dennis comes away with it, outlet to Marins. Sloppy pass stolen back by the Bulldogs. That was Sills into the middle. Bulldogs couldn't control it. Marins steals it back. Dennis slows it down, gets it over to Stanton on the near side. Nolan Stanton goes baseline, kicks it back to the top for Marins. Marins over to Horton, one more to Hinderleder on the baseline. Kicks it all the way through to the right wing for Stanton. Inside to Dennis at the elbow, back to Stanton as he goes baseline. Tries to find position with his left. And rebound goes to the Bulldogs. Stanton picking up on in full court on Campbell. Sills in the corner, back to the top to Funkhauser. Over to number 4, that's Tutman. Into the corner for Campbell. Back up top to Sills. Sills looks inside, gets it across for Funkhauser, and timeout called by the Bulldogs. All right, back to the action after the timeout. Cougars steal, outlet to Clevenger. Clevenger to the basket. Can't get it to fall as Funkhauser pulls down the rebound. Clevenger sneaks in there and steals it back. Step through and gets called for the travel. Cougars pick up in full court. Funkhauser all the way up to number 4, Tutman. Green kicks it out to Campbell, and he hits the 3. Cougars leading 8-7. Trapped in the corner. If you go to the corner, you're going to have to shoot or pass. You can't hold. Hinderleder gets trapped in the corner. Clevenger gets it into Dennis, back up top to Hinderlitter. Over to Horton, into the corner for Marins for the three. Off the front of the rim, Funkhauser comes in strong for the defensive rebound and pushes in transition. All the way across to Campbell and too high, and out of bounds back to the Cougars. 1:20 left in the first quarter. Stanton across the timeline to Horton, all the way across to Hinderlitter. Gets away with a step, takes the jump shot, and nails it. Funkhauser into the corner for Tutman. Caleb Dennis pulls down the rebound for the Cougars, gets it out to Stanton, pushing through the middle. Stanton to Hinderlitter, but he's on the line when he received it, and out of bounds back to the Bulldogs. Funkhauser over to Campbell, back to the top to Funkhauser, to Tutman on the left side. Funkhauser at the short corner, looks inside for Grime, stolen away by Stanton. Stanton out ahead to Clevenger. Clevenger to the corner, back to Stanton. Picks it up at the wing, deflected by Funkhauser. Horton there to receive. Stolen away by Campbell, all the way to the basket with the left, and the finish. Horton to Clevenger. Swing pass to Stanton. Stanton inside, kicks it back to the elbow for Dennis. Up top for Horton. Horton to the free throw line, kicks it out to Hinderleiter. Jump shot from 15, and that does it for the first quarter. Cougars take the 10-9 lead at the end of one. Okay, we're finally live here. Had some trouble getting connected, but the start of the second quarter, Cougars leading 10-9. Campbell in the corner for the three-pointer. Grime gets the offensive rebound. Funkhauser with the floater, can't get it to fall, knocked away. Last touch by the Cougars. Campbell looking for an option, gets it into Woolenhaus. Funkhauser to Woolenhaus for the three-point shot, and he nails it. And the Bulldogs take the first lead of the game, 12-10. Clevenger to Marins. Bounce pass knocked away by number 25. That's, I don't see him actually listed on the roster. It'll stay Cougars ball, though. Dennis to Stanton. Across for Hinderleiter, and he nails the three-pointer. Cougars retake the lead. Ladder gets in there, knocks the ball away. Funkhauser able to recover. Cougars steal, Stanton pushing. Into the corner for Clevenger, bounce pass into Stanton, spin move, and the finish off the glass. Cougars score 5 unanswered to retake the lead, 15-12. Grime down the left side, fouled by Clevenger. That's the first foul of the quarter on the Cougars. All right, back to the action. Funkhauser into the corner for Sills. Stanton tightly defending. Back up top to Funkhauser. Sills across to number 25. And foul called on Marins. Bulldogs into the corner to Sills. Funkhauser across to number 23, Campbell. Campbell one more, and the backdoor cut had started. Pass goes to the corner and out of play. Turnover back to the Cougars. Marins across the timeline, gets it to Stanton. Nolan Stanton to the elbow. To Hinderleader. Stanton to Clevenger. Cougars get the possession error. I believe that was a jump ball. Cougars call the timeout. Sorry, Carl Junction calls the timeout. Having some audio trouble here, trying to get that figured out. Okay, Cougars did get charged with the timeout. Cougars with the ball after the timeout. Nolan Stanton across the timeline being guarded by Funkhauser. Knocked away, ruled out on Stanton, and back to the Bulldogs. Funkhauser ahead to Campbell on the left wing. To the elbow for Grime. Long rebound goes to Sills for the Bulldogs. Campbell baseline drive. Dennis there on the help. Campbell with a nice scoop reverse layup. Horton pushing the pace. Wild shot. Bulldogs pushing in transition. Marin steals, but a cluster. Funkhauser and Horton go for it. Funkhauser gets it over to Campbell. Number 25 back up top to Campbell, and the Bulldogs reset. Inside to Grime, and he makes the 8-footer, tied at 18. Marins to Clevenger into the corner for Horton. Horton across for Marins. Dribble handoff to Dennis. Horton to the elbow, kicks it to Marins in the corner. Campbell tightly defending. Clevenger flashes over to receive. Dribble handoff to Horton. Back up top to Stanton. Ball screened by Horton as Stanton gets switched off. Marins on the pick and roll by Stanton. Foul called on the Bulldogs, and Nolan Stanton will go to the line for 2 free throws. Cougars with 2 fouls here in the second quarter. That's the Bulldogs' first. Stanton makes the first free throw to retake the lead, 19-18. Stanton just barely gets the rim on the second. Bulldogs pull down the rebound. Seals into the front court. Over to number 5, that's Wobkin. Watkin for 3, and he hits it. 21-19, Bulldogs in the lead. Barons at the top, over to Clevenger, tightly defended by Sills. Gets it to Horton. Horton throws it away, stolen away by Buffer. Sills to Buffer. Dangerous pass across, stolen by Stanton. Stanton all the way to the basket and can't get it to fall. Rebound pulled down by Wobkin. Offense rebound by Sills, able to get it to Wobkin for the 3. Another offense rebound by the Bulldogs, that's Tupman. And he gets fouled, will go to the line. That's Evan Horton's second foul of the game. Aiden Tupman short on the first. Nolan Stanton checking out as Nolan Brueggemann checks in the game for the Cougars. In and out on the second, Caleb Dennis there for the rebound. Long outlet to Clevenger, down low for Brueggemann, but too far ahead of him and turned over back to the Bulldogs. Braden Sills dribbles it across the timeline into the corner for Wobkin. Back to Sills at the top. Buffer to Sills to Wobkins. Marins gets a hand on the ball, and the Bulldogs need to reset. Three seconds in the lane called on the Bulldogs. Turnover to the Cougars, 19 seconds left in the first half. Bulldogs picking up in man press. Horton comes to help. Clevenger on the right wing. Bounce pass over to Brueggemann at the top, looks for the cutter. Brueggemann stays on the dribble, gives it back to Clevenger. 6 seconds to play, Horton for three, and he got it. At the buzzer, and it's short. That does it for the first half. Evan Horton, 3-point basket to send the Cougars into the halftime with the 1-point lead. We'll take a audio break here and send you through the first half recap. Be back in 10 minutes for the second half of this freshman action. One, two, three. Audio test 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're back for the start of the third quarter. Bulldogs have the arrow. Campbell over to Sills. Number 5 is Wobkin. Bulldogs with the 4-out set. Funkhauser back to Campbell. Sills at the top. Campbell from the right wing for 3. Fight for the rebound falls to Wobkin.
Cougars are having a tough time getting those offensive rebounds for Carl Junction keeps getting second chances.
Campbell on the right wing. Inside to Grime. Stolen, deflected by Clevenger, stolen away by Stanton. Hectic play by the Cougars. Stanton fighting for the ball. Marins comes away with it.
Referees haven't made it back from halftime yet.
Marins with some pressure. Dennis comes on the screen. Pick and roll. Dennis from the elbow. Funkhauser pulls down the rebound for the Bulldogs. Across to Campbell. Off the side of the backboard. Campbell fights for it. Sills able to get there. Clevenger knocks it away. Falls to Green.
A little sloppy start here at the second half.
Wobkin to Sills at the elbow to Funkhauser. Gets the dribble down, finds some space. Nolan Stanton comes in and pulls down the rebound for the Cougars. Pushing out in transition. Kicks it to the corner for Clevenger. Clevenger with a pump fake backdoor cut by Marins. Marins gets his own rebound and draws the foul on the follow. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, if Clevenger would have hit him just a little bit quicker, he was wide open at the top, and then they were able to kind of regroup, and he had to take the floater instead of either the wide open shot or driving all the way in.
First free throw rims out. 5:15 left in the third quarter. No score yet in the third. Cougars holding that 1-point lead. Grime gets the rebound for the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs push into the front court. Campbell looking at his options, resets back to Sills. Over to Wobkin, back to Sills. Clevenger gets a hand on it to deflect. Sills gets it back, gets it to Campbell. Elbow jumper off the front rim and gets the roll. And the Bulldogs retake the lead.
Generous home basket there.
Hinderleader steps on the end line. Turnover back to the Bulldogs. Cougars in a half-court trap. Campbell to Funkhauser, gets it over to Green. Back up top to Campbell to reset. Number 23, Keller Campbell, the 6-foot freshman. Wobkin gets away with the carry, gets it over to Campbell. Into Funkhauser at the free throw line. Wobkin for 3 from the left wing. Off the front of the rim, and long rebound goes to the Bulldogs. Green wants the three-pointer. Rims out, but Funkhauser's there for the follow. And the Bulldogs get another offensive rebound.
Offensive rebounds are killing us on second chances there and third chances.
Stanton resets up to Hinderleader. Looking for the entry pass. Marins comes out to receive. Grime all over him. Funkhauser with the push in the back on Stanton. Stanton with the flail shot and gets the roll. Yeah, back to a 1-point game.
Kind of an obvious double hand check push there.
Campbell wants the 3. Marins there for the rebound. He'll push in transition. Marins tough shot from the just inside the free throw line. Gets his own rebound. Can't get the finish as Campbell pulls it down. Wobkin wants the 3 and he nails it.
That was a deep one.
Timeout called by the Cougars.
Full timeout.
Bulldogs go into the timeout with a 4-point lead. They're really letting them play here in the third quarter. Pretty hectic game, a lot of contact.
Yeah, that has kind of gets us out of rhythm. We're just looking a little sloppy, but it looks sloppy the more physical it gets. Both sides, ball's just kind of bouncing around, and then we're getting some pushing and some shoving on the inside. That also helps with them getting offensive rebounds.
Bulldogs running a 4-out set with the flash coming to the elbow. They've been able to enter it in there and then distribute. It's always a little more difficult to box out when you're in a zone defense.
Yeah, you've really got to take time and mark your guy of who you're going to box out whenever that ball goes up.
All right, back to the action. Marion's tightly defended by Campbell. Campbell deflects it into the backcourt, and finally we get a foul called.
I guess the hook to the face qualifies.
Good job by Marion's being strong on the dribble and drawing the foul. Second foul of the quarter on the Bulldogs. Stanton, dangerous pass. Brigham's able to recover it. Gets it to Stanton back in the front court. Stanton into the paint, rises up, knocks the ball away, and out of bounds back to the Bulldogs.
Having a tough time getting our shots inside now to drop.
Campbell in the corner gets trapped. Marion steals it. Up to Hinderleader. Too strong on the layup, pulled down by Campbell. Number 25 leaking out. Flips it back, deflected by Stanton. And Horton's there to make the steal for the Cougars. Stanton pushing up ahead to Marins. Marins step through, off the glass. Oh, too strong as it rims out. Sills there for the rebound. Stanton slaps it down. Sills recovers, kicks it back to number 25, one more to Funkhauser. And Funkhauser gets called for the travel back to the Cougars.
Yeah, that ball went halfway down and came back out. Had some good looks on the inside now.
Marins being tightly defended. Good ball screen by Bruggeman, and Marins gets all the way to the rim for the nice touch off the glass. Cougars in the half-court trap. Marins and Stanton smother him, and timeout called by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, this half-court trap's kind of give them some intensity again from staying back in the zone whenever they just are playing zone. Gets them back into a little bit of a rhythm, being more aggressive and getting some steals and some mistakes by the Bulldogs then.
Each team with 3 timeouts left. 1:50 on the official clock here in the third quarter. Bulldogs with a 2-point lead. That last basket by Cam Marins. Bruggeman comes up and sets that ball screen. And just a nice drive to the basket to finish.
Yeah, Bruggeman a really good job of getting there in time. That way it wasn't a offensive foul by setting an illegal screen.
All right, back to the action. Bulldogs in the front court. Wobkin back to Sills. Campbell with a foot on the line. Oh, I thought he had a foot on the line. They gave him the 3. 31-26. Scoreboard gave him
a 2.
A 2.
Now they've changed it.
3-point try by Horton goes long. Clevenger gets the offensive rebound. In the corner, gets it back to Stanton. Stanton ripped through, and foul called, I believe, on the Bulldogs underneath for the Cougars. Third foul of the quarter on the Carl Junction Bulldogs. Clevenger taking the inbound. Gets into Stanton. Over to Horton. Ooh. Horton gets away with some steps. Gets it all the way across for Marins. Dennis saves it, but the Cougars can't secure it. And the ball out of bounds back to the Bulldogs. Over and back called. Was he in the front court?
No, he was still spread between the back and the front.
Yeah, so he never let's see. Yeah, he never established front court. So that was a mistaken call by the crew, but we'll take it. Marins to Clevenger, over to Stanton. Stanton for three from the top. Long rebound. Horton's able to flick it out to Clevenger. Back to Stanton at the top. 30 seconds to play in the quarter. Dennis at the elbow, gets it back to Stanton. Stanton with a strong step through and finish with the left. And it's 31-28. Marins goes for the steal. Ooh. Clevenger comes in and body checks him. No foul call as the Cougars get to the basket. And out of bounds.
Wow.
On the Bulldogs. Cougars maintain possession. 15 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Clevenger into the corner for Marins. Gives it back to Clevenger. Toe tips the line. Stanton with the long three, and he got it. 3 seconds remaining. I don't think he's aware of the clock. And that's the third quarter horn. Game tied at 31. Bulldogs coach not happy about him being unaware of the clock. So nice flurry to finish the quarter by the Cougars.
Yeah, I believe Stanton had the last 5 points there to tie it back up. Had the nice step through and then hit that three when he kind of got stranded out there and they left him alone. Then he just squared up and shot.
That last basket by Nolan Stanton. From way downtown. Here's a look again at that dribble handoff, or that, I should say just the handoff by Dennis at the elbow. Finds Stanton as he cuts through. Nice pivot to get position to finish off the glass. All right, the Cougars have the arrow to come out in the fourth quarter. Game tied at 31. The points have come in flurries, but there hasn't been a lot of them. 10 points per quarter on average. 10.33 on average, to be exact. Clevenger gets it in the backcourt, screened by Marins. Clevenger picks up the dribble, tries to bounce pass into Marins, stolen by Campbell. Campbell out ahead, Euro step off the front of the rim. Ball falls to Green. Campbell comes up short. Funkhauser finds the rebound and goes up, gets fouled, and will go to the line for a chance for 2 free throws.
Yeah, those offensive rebounds are killing us. We're getting out-rebounded.
Can't get the first free throw to fall. Second one is good. Bulldogs retake the lead. Marins over to Clevenger on the right side. Dennis at the elbow. Horton thought about it, swings it to the corner for Marins. Marins for three. I believe that hit the side of the backboard. And Campbell comes away with it.
Yeah, he kind of caught it a little awkward and stepped back and was still on his toes when he tried to shoot that and just didn't have any.
Campbell with the hurried three. Marins pulls down the rebound, stripped away, but Stanton gets it back. Gets it to Clevenger. Ball deflected by Sills. Stanton's able to reach in there and grab it back. Loose ball on the floor. Stanton ties him up. And jump ball, Cougars, or Bulldogs, I should say, have the arrow. Six minutes to play here in the fourth. Trap comes on the right side. Dangerous pass off of Campbell's foot. Sills picks it up for the 15-footer. Nice read by Clevenger to come in and get that air ball. Outlet to Stanton. Stanton pushing down the near side. Through the middle, finds Horton in the short corner. Back up top to Marins for three. Dennis comes in for the rebound, and Green gets the block. Stanton tightly defending on Campbell. Back up top to Sills. Foul called on Horton. And the Bulldogs have it underneath. They're actually saying up top. Sills over to Campbell on the near side. Funkhauser at the elbow. Three-point shot by number 3, Wollenhaus. Cougars get the rebound in transition. Funkhauser body checks Marins and gets called for the foul. First foul of the quarter on the Bulldogs.
Kind of just willy-nilly where they have them inbound it from the out of bounds, are they?
Yeah. Yeah, the 28-foot line is the inbound location for any foul in the front court. Campbell reaches in, steals it away. Euro step finish through traffic. Stanton all the way across for Marins. Marins drives in, draws the foul, and will go to the line for 2 free throws.
It's a good job being strong with that. He knew he was going to draw contact. Whether or not you get the foul call is, you never know, but was able to get the call and we'll go shoot 2.
Marin sinks the first, 34-32. Makes both of them 1-point game. Sills over to Funkhauser. Dangerous pass into Grime. Grime fighting for possession.
Yeah.
And Dennis bails him out with the foul. Ball underneath for the Bulldogs. Sills gets it into Grime. I'm not sure it's Grime or Greem. I keep saying it different. Funkhauser drives in, loses the handle, and last touch by the Cougars will stay Bulldogs ball.
It was a good strip, but went off us, out of bounds.
Campbell into Sills. Tough pass to Funkhauser. Hidden leader goes for the steal. Funkhauser gets it back. Looked like he was out of bounds.
Yeah, I was going to say he didn't reestablish to me.
3-point lead again for the Bulldogs. Into the corner, hidden leader. Back to Clevenger. Gets it into Marins, and timeout called by the Cougars.
Leaves the Cougars with 2 timeouts remaining. It's a big possession here. We need to get a bucket back in with 4 minutes to go.
See if we can see if Funkhauser regained position before he got that ball. It's hard to see from that angle.
Sure looked like his foot was on the line and then he was in the air when he caught it back in bounds, but
yeah, he looked like his right foot was in and his left foot was out.
yeah.
Whether he got his right foot down before he caught the ball, I'm not sure. I don't think you have to establish both feet, right? You just have to not be out of bounds.
Correct. You just have to be back in bounds with an established foot.
Clevenger gets it in to Hindenleder. Backside rebound by Marins, kicks it to Clevenger. All the way across for Stanton. Stanton thought about the three from the free throw line. Back out to Hinderleader. Up top to Stanton. Into the corner for Marins. Marins to the elbow, kicks across to Hinderleader. One more to Clevenger in the corner. And big block comes in by Funkhauser. Will stay Cougars ball. 3:38 to play in the fourth. Stanton open for three. Kicks it back to the corner for Clevenger. Back up to Marins. Marins wants the three. Dennis fighting for the rebound along with Green. And Funkhauser comes away with a loose ball. Campbell steps through, finds Green down low. Foul called on the Cougars, and Green will go to the line for 2 free throws. Fourth foul of the quarter on the Cougars. Bulldogs will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Good on the first to make it a 2-possession game. Second one is long. Long rebound goes to Marins, and Green commits the foul on the sideline.
It's a good thing they called the foul because he was stepping out of bounds as he was pushed. So if they didn't, we were in trouble.
I think the announcer called it grime, so I'm going to say that, grime. Miles Grime. That sound right? Is that what you heard?
That's what I heard. But I'm not saying all announcers pronounce it correctly.
Stanton over to Marins. Double team comes, gets it back to Stanton at the top. Into the corner for Clevenger. Inside to Dennis. And Green gets a hand on him as he got the block, but got a lot of body. It's called for the foul. Take a look at that again. Yeah, his right hand is assisting the jump. Kind of have to call that a foul, I think.
Yeah. And the announcer is calling him grime.
Dennis can't get the first free throw to fall. Still a 2-possession game. Campbell pulls down the rebound on the second. Finds Grime at the top of the key. Kicks it back to Sills, over to Campbell to reset. Bulldogs into the corner. Grime, dangerous pass inside. Marins knocks it away, but Campbell's there to recover. Backdoor pass to Grime, but out of bounds. Backdoor behind the back door. Bulldogs in a full court press. Marins splits the double, but it gets it poked away. Grime with the baseball pass ahead. Stanton goes for it, and Funkhauser goes to the ground. Ref says incidental contact.
Yeah.
And ball back to the Cougars. Coach not happy with that call. Let's see that again.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell whether or not when he was trying to lay out, it was a pass that looked like it was going to go over his head, and he kind of had to really jump backwards, and we might have helped.
Stanton passes to the middle. Horton finds Dennis down low. Dennis holds, spin move. Marins fights for the rebound with Funkhauser, is able to get to it, and jump ball, timeout by the Cougars.
Called timeout.
So the Cougars get the timeout and they maintain the arrow. One timeout left now for the Cougars, trailing by
4 points still with a 2 possession. This is it's a shame Dennis hesitated and tried to do the turnaround instead of going ahead and taking it up.
Yeah, that was set up well for a potential and one, with a guy flying through, but also could have been a block. But the big body like Dennis, maybe he can jump into that contact, and get the finish and the foul. Marin's good hustle play to come from behind to knock that ball loose on Funkhauser and get on the floor. Good awareness by Coach Miller Long to call that timeout. 2:17 to play here in the fourth. Marin's into Stanton. Stanton holds at the top. Double team comes. Stanton back dribbles, gets it to Clevenger, over to Marins on the left wing. Campbell tightly defending. Double team again. Clevenger on the wing all the way across for Stanton. Stanton thought about the three. Pulls up from just inside the free throw line. Grime pulls down the rebound.
Just a hair hesitant. You could see when he was going up. He just held back just a little bit, caused it to go short.
Sills on the dribble over to Wobkin. I don't think Wobkin's been in the game recently. 3-point shot. In and out. Sills on the follow and gets the roll. A 6-point game now for the Cougars, or for the Bulldogs, I should say. Clevenger up ahead to Dennis. Dennis, good pivot to Horton. Horton to Marins. Marins looking baseline. Double team comes, spin through.
Tough shot.
Grime pulls down the rebound for the Bulldogs. What's the call? Inadvertent whistle?
Inadvertent whistle. I think he thought Coach was calling timeout. Even if he was yelling timeout, you can't give it to them when they don't have the ball. But he was just telling them to pick them up. And so the official looked and realized that it wasn't a timeout.
Bulldogs still in the backcourt, get across to Campbell. Campbell baseline, flips it up to Funkhauser. Funkhauser, nice receive. Rims out. Campbell fighting for the ball. Clevenger comes away with it. Gets it ahead to Stanton. Stanton to Horton, tough pass. And thrown away back to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we're getting some opportunities. We're getting some stops and getting the ball kicked up.
Funkhauser into Campbell across the timeline. Stanton tightly defending. Over to Wobkin, and the Cougars commit the foul, though Wobkin will go to the line for the bonus free throws.
Shooting 2 here. Pretty sure.
That's the 5th foul. That's the 5th foul. That's the 5th foul. It shows on the scoreboard 5 fouls, but all right, so they got it corrected. We're going to go to the line for the 2 free throws. Wobkin strong on the first.
Need him to miss, and we need to box out here. Keep it a 2-possession game.
Off the backboard on the second, Dennis gets a hand on the rebound but can't secure it. Grime gets it out to Campbell. Wobkin secures the ball and Clevenger commits the foul.
Boy, I thought looked like he took off with his foot on the line, but maybe not.
Wobkin will get a chance to redeem himself with 2 more free throws. Strong on the first. He's been a little strong on all 3 free throws. Strong on the fourth.
Boy.
Green pulls down the rebound and jump ball. Cougars have the arrow.
Rebounds have really been a problem for us.
Ball into Clevenger, back to Marins. Horton up to Stanton. Stanton down low for Dennis. Good job by the Cougars breaking the press and a quick basket. 4-point. Marins deflects the inbound and that stops the clock. Cougars picking up full court. Interesting that the Bulldogs were in full court press trying to speed up the Cougars.
Yeah. I guess they were trying to get a quick turnover. But that actually plays to our advantage. We want to get down and score as quick as we can.
Funkhauser into Seals. Double team comes. Marins gets a hand on the
Jump
ball and jump
stays
ball. It is now the Bulldogs' arrow.
there.
28 seconds on the official clock. Funkhauser in the corner. I'm not sure why a jump ball would be an inbound from that location.
Timeout. It's close. Full timeout.
So I don't have the preload that I did for the other camera, but I'm going to put that on this too, so we can bring up those new rules. But that's been a rule for a couple years. The 4 inbound spots.
Yeah.
The change they made this year is that applies to the backcourt also.
Right. But as you can see, they haven't been following any of the spots. So
The 28-foot line confuses a lot of refs because it's only actually marked on the score table side of the court. So you have to look across to decide where that is. And on the bigger courts, a lot of times they'll do it at the score table line instead of the 28-foot line.
yeah.
All right, back to the action. Bulldogs inbounding. Green goes long to Funkhauser. Funkhauser to the basket, and he puts it in. That's a big basket for the Bulldogs. 23 seconds to play. Horton with the pass ahead to Dennis. Dennis secures it, gets it to Clevenger. And the Cougars burn their last timeout. 16 seconds, 16.3 on the official clock.
Yeah, you hate to see that play that they just scored on as they get fooled so hard of trying to prevent the pass in, but then they usually always send one deep.
Yeah, that number 0, Bryson Funkhauser, a good athlete, able to grab that in the air and bring it down and finish. Really not an easy catch and finish. Well, I take that back. He actually went back for the ball. Basket caught it and turned and finish. Clevenger inbounding, gets it to Stanton. Got to move, 10 seconds to play.
So you don't have much time.
Stanton creates some space, takes the 3. Off the front of the rim, Clevenger there at the free throw line for the rebound. And traveling call on Funkhauser as he went to the ground, went to the floor, I should say. Cougars will have the ball underneath. Box action on the inbound. Clevenger into the corner for Horton. Horton gets it back into Clevenger, back to Horton. Back to Clevenger in the corner at the buzzer. And that's a final.
Yeah, just inexperience there. You just can't pass the ball around with 5 seconds left when you're down 2 possessions.
All right, so good action. Cougars held to just 4 points in the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs started playing that full court press defense, and the Cougars looked athletic in it, but had a tough time controlling some of their passes, and it just got a little bit hectic.
Yeah, we had a lot more turnovers and didn't get nearly as many. We had some good shots in the third quarter, but the fourth quarter then we did not have nearly as many inside the paint shots. We were turning the ball over, and we struggled with their pressure.
All right, we'll send you through the second half recap as we close out. We'll be back here on YouTube Monday night for the JV and varsity games at Miller. 6 o'clock start for the JV. And then Tuesday night will be the last game before Thanksgiving at home, our first home game of the season against the Rush Senior Home School. That'll be a nice test for us. Miller, okay, we did have, we'll say a little bit about the district assignments. District assignments did come out today, and the Cougars are in District 11, which is last year's District 12, with the exception of Miller moving and New Covenant Academy moving to our district. So it's the same teams besides that: Diamond, Pierce City, Marionville, Southwest Washburn. Who's the other one?
Did you say Diamond already?
Yep. Anyway, one more team, that same group that was with us last year, with the exception of Miller.
Pierce City? Did you say Pierce City?
And New Covenant Academy switching. That'll be a good district for us. We could very well get the host option with that group. We'll wait to see on that, but oh, there it is. Sarcoxy, who I was missing. So it's a group that these boys are familiar with. This district I like because it's our elementary basketball competition district, which has some familiarity and some rivalry, which always makes it fun.
And then District 12 is the same way. A lot of those schools we are familiar with, except for Stockton, Ash Grove. But
yeah, District 12, Ash Grove, El Dorado Springs, Lamar, Miller, Skyline, and Stockton. The winner of 11 plays the winner of 12 if we can three-peat as district champions. All right, we'll send you through that second half recap as we close out. Thank you all for tuning in.